jumping in the 993 Targa. Now I'm going to be very, very frank with you guys. I have looked at the prices on these cars and they're still relatively inexpensive considering how much Porsche products, especially the classic stuff, seems to be going for at the moment. So I think this is an untapped generation of classic Porsche that hasn't quite hit the peak of the market, in my opinion. You still can get one of these for relatively good money. Just have a little quick nose about eBay, you know, various other places. There is a couple kicking around for about 30 grand. Yes, you're going to get one with 100,000+ miles on it. This one is an absolute peach though. One owner from new, one owner, and it has 38,000 miles on it in running, in my opinion. The actual person that owns this has loved it, and it actually sat in a garage for 15 years of its life, not unloved, but just sat waiting to be loved again. So it's really nice and quite a experience really to take this out today, because it has been in a family and has one owner since the 1997 when this was actually bought from Porsche. So yeah, good bit of history behind this car. Low mileage, low owner, only one owner. But how is it to drive? Because obviously this glass house is what Porsche enthusiasts would call it. Set up on top of this car means that there is a lot more glass in this thing than maybe other 993s or various other 911s from its generation. It does give a good sense of occasion though, because it's not quite the convertible. So you can have the roof back and the windows up as I have right now, and you do have all of the air coming in and rushing past you, but you don't have that convertible drawback, I would say. It still has safety here. There is actually a metal bar going over the car. What does that mean for the drive? Well, let's select a lower gear, shall we? The 3.6 litre naturally aspirated engine has still got quite a lot of punch in this car. Yes, by today's standard, it's going to be not as sprightly as other cars, and I get that. But for a classic car, I think it's actually got quite a lot of spice to it. And it sounds good as well. Obviously, the engine being at the back and the exhaust being in the back, you don't get that sense of in front of you, exhaust behind sound that you would get from something with an engine in front of you. But that's Porsche, and I am a big fan of big Porsches. That does sound good. I like this. Obviously, this is the automatic variant of the 993. Isn't too bad. The gearbox is actually quite easy to use. You can tip it through the gears and stuff if you really want to. It has got the Tiptronic thumb buttons on the steering wheel as well, so you can drop it down a gear and rev it out. Again, this is more of a cruiser. For me anyway, this is more of a cruiser. This is still one hell of a car though, I tell you. It is so nice to drive. It looks awesome. The 993 shape, in my opinion, is really, really classic, but has a modern twist, a little bit more rounded than previous generations. It is a very nice place to be in here as well. Comfortable as well. Surprisingly comfortable, actually. So what we're going to do is, we're going to cruise around, we're going to enjoy this thing. I'm going to jump in the newer one, because I want to see what this is like in comparison. All those years later, what is the difference? We need to find out. So guys, jumping in a PDK 911 Targa 4S. So this is the four-wheel drive variant, of course, and she has some exhaust valves on her, and we've got her open. Look at where we are though. B road, background of a lovely bit of shrubbery and a bit of sound to go with it. Oh, and we're just at the end of the day as well, and oh, PDK boxes are so good. I forgot how good they were. So, roundabout there. Boys, I've got the windows down because it just sounds so good. Sounds so good. Now, obviously, the characteristics of both cars is very different. The actual 993 feels a little bit more point and turn. You're lower in the car. It feels a lot smaller. This feels a lot bigger. But that PDK box, mate, just shows how far Porsche have really come in the last couple of years. They have absolutely blown the automatic gearbox game out of the water, if I'm quite honest. Obviously, going from that generation to this generation, there is a lot in it. Very, very nice. Now, the red leather in this is an option that I would go for, I'm not even going to lie. Do like a little bit of red leather in my life. Really, really deep tone on this, though, from the sports exhaust from the factory. So, no exhaust trickery here or aftermarket exhaust. And it sounds so good when you get it right up in the rev. Biggest thing about both cars is that the 993 in not so distant future is going to be the same price of these, you know, newer generation 911s. This is obviously a 2014 car, and it's still, still hold their money, the Targas. I think they're very good value for money in the long run if you're willing to keep one. But I do think them 993s, if you're willing to invest in a 993, yes, it's an older car, it's going to be an older car to drive. I don't know, it's weird because we're sort of talking about a car or a set of cars that could be the same price very, very soon. It's a weird scenario because this is fantastic. It is just the loveliest place to be ever, and the power is just, you obviously rev Porsches out. That's the way a Porsche should be. You rev the nuts out of it to get what you want out of the car. I don't know, what would you go for, guys? I don't know, I'm not sure what to go for. I love classic cars, love classic Porsches. I don't know. Yeah, I get they're very different in the sense that you could daily drive this, you could daily drive the 993, don't get me wrong, but this is going to be a better place to be. It's going to be, comfier on a long journey and all that business. And don't get me wrong, I like to pitch cars together, and it's nice to jump in an older generation and then a newer generation car. I don't know, guys, what do you think? Leave a comment below, let me know your thoughts on both cars. I would probably go for the 993. That would be the good scenario. To have both would be the best scenario. But I don't know, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, massive thank you to Colossal Giveaways for organising these two cars for me to drive today. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all on the next one.